So real heavy volume was traded during the Nasdaq, the New York Open on the 10th of January 2025. Happy New Year, by the way. Back on YouTube. In front of you, you can see a clear chart with a couple of imbalances highlighted during a New York opening session, because that's where my focus relays and where my focus is. During the heavy volatile market sessions, during the APPD time cycles, the algorithmic precision price delivery time cycles. In front of you, you can see this chart right here. During the New York opening, just in the first 50 to 30 minutes, you can see that heavy volume is entering the markets. Okay, we see a large wave into price, and then we see a second wave into price, which tanked to the downside. Okay. From this perspective, we had created an imbalance right here. It's not only a technical imbalance, it's also a footprint imbalance. We can highlight and we can see within the footprint chart how this order flow imbalance is validated. On the ask side, you can see a large difference if you compare it to the bid on the left side, right? The ask, left the bid. And you can see once price traded back to this level, this is in the pre-markets of the New York opening. You can see price traded off to it, trading back into it. And then we see a large tank in price, where the ask side has, again, the overhand. Okay, so there is more ask than bid and aggressive selling entering the markets. Okay, then we rolling into the New York opening, and this leg is already in there. Okay. This was indeed an NFP move with an order flow. You can clearly see the move as well. Okay, heavy NFP move, not a thing that I'm focusing on, but the opening bias for me is very important. So if the opening has a seller's bias, I'm looking overall for sales. If the opening has a buying bias, I'm looking overall into buying. Simple as that, just following the direction. Most important times for me are usually 3 times. That's the opening, that's the 10 a.m. move, and that can be 50 minutes or an half an hour, 45 minutes later as well. Maximum within my 90-minute cycle, which I have a very fixed plan in. And of course, the footprint, it's a very important tool for me nowadays and for quite a while. So within this New York session, you can see the price left some footprints, and on the footprint chart, we can clearly see that there is again a large imbalance into this cluster. Okay, this is a 5-minute cluster, but you can see the same story on the 15-minute, 10, 5 entry time frame. Of course, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute time frames. Okay, usually for the lower time frames, one of my favorite time frames on the footprint is the 3-minute and 5-minute. Give me a clear vision into price and a very accurate vision. So you're not too early, you're not too late. So simple as that. So the markup right here, you can see that the price created this imbalance into price, then traded back into this level. And you can see there is something happening into this footprint that is here left behind. So we see during the New York opening the sellers movement, my overall bias sellers, opening price bias is the momentum. Everyone in the practicum and one of my order flow courses understand this concept. So following the overall opening, but within this session you can find great liquidations into price. And once we zoom in into this cluster, you can see there is a large liquidation into the price, and the delta right here, the colored delta numbers, the red, the green, the red, and the red, indicates the difference between the buying and the selling. So you can see the real volume into the delta. So you see the difference between buying and selling. And below the delta, you can see the volume, and the volume indicates how much volume is traded within the footprint order flow charts. Okay, so that are the main criteria for by following the footprint chart. Validate that level of imbalance. usually a fresh level. Using the delta as a guideline because it's a powerful tool. It gives you the raw buying and selling and overall. And of course, we should compare the bid versus the ask and the liquidations and the volume with it. So it should be, if we're seeing a delta rollover like this, okay, we see a large tank to the downside right here, even on the technical chart. But for me, the footprint chart is the guideline. You can see large delta numbers, okay? Huge delta numbers if you compare everything to the left-hand side. So that means there is heavy traded volume during a specific session. The green delta right here indicates potential buying. We did a little pullback. Then the red tanked price more to the downside. And then we're seeing buyers coming in again. So they will tank the price higher. And what we see with pretty high volume traded higher again into this maximum level, value level as well. Then once price hit this level, you can see that we're seeing clear rollover from buying, so the correction into the price, into the overall market direction sellers. And then as soon as the price hit this level, probably large limit orders or aggressive market orders, sell orders are hitting the ask side, okay? So you can see aggressive selling up here, but first price will grab that liquidity. So they will grab that selling, that limit orders probably that are hidden right here. You can see it on the DOM, of course. Footprint, you can clearly see all the market orders. Also the committed traders right here. Overhand, ask side. So buying, liquidation, then a roll over back into this price territory, lower again. And you see that the delta remains pretty red with aggressive and high delta. 9 out of 10 times, this indicates probably a continuation movements. Of course, there are certain numbers you need to be aware of because you cannot hit the button on just one delta number. The volume, the footprint, the ask versus the bid, validated imbalance into price should confirm an entry, okay? And first, of course, the timing is very important. And as we speak, you can see once this level get liquidated, so liquidation move, if you be too quick right here on just one delta number, you will probably be liquidated. So always wait for the liquidation. That's also what I teach within the courses, the order flow masterclass course, within the practicum, within my entry models. You can see once we break back into this price range, we have that validated delta with a huge tank in volume, breaking back into this price range. So certain criteria should be matched. We don't trade blind. We trade on simple facts, Completely different era. You can see that once the price hit that price level lower, that we see a hard continuation for many ticks. Then again, price hit again an imbalance into this price, okay? Like I said, there was Friday, 10th of January. We hit a large level of imbalance into price. We see again a rollover, again a liquidation into price, again a shift into delta. Volume. The volume is a little bit out within this level. You can see if you compare the volume, 14, 18, 15, 12, 10,000. And if you compare it with the first 90-minute time cycle of the New York opening, we're talking about 40, 47, 30,000, 37, 30, 29. That the big move usually happening within that specific time cycle that I mentioned earlier, And this is also why I put myself into the best position possible to trade usually the 9-minute opening. It's key, it's definitely key. So don't trade blind, trade smart, and following that overall market direction, following the delta, the volume, and the footprint, and understand how this market opening. This examples on the NASDAQ, I trade only the NASDAQ nowadays. And I like to see how price open it up, how those big wheels will move the price in one certain direction. And if you compare other New York sessions with this, you can usually see the opening price is or a continuation or a reversal, but you need to be aware of the specific timings. And order flow trading can give you a clear edge in the market, the ask versus the bid, the rollovers, and of course the APPD time cycles, you know. And Delta Volume is definitely leading in that. So I'm looking forward to another great year, being here for pretty a while. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next video. Hope this was helpful for you, and have a great and successful trading week. You know, enjoy. Wish you all the best. Peace.